Hello Aries, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for February for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now, as ever, I'm going to give you a broad overview of what to expect, but then please stay with me because I will dive deep and give you in forensic detail all the key dates and influences that you can expect. So one of the big things to tell you about this month is that Mars, your ruler, is going to be forging a very charismatic link to Venus, the planet of relating. But this is going to occur in the sign of Capricorn, where your ruler is exalted. And Venus is very much to do with the formality of relating, but it can also be to do with money. And the sign of Capricorn is very much about substance, it's about structure. So this could be very good for a business relationship shaping up this month. Of course, we do have a new moon on the 1st in your sector of friendships, but that's very close to Saturn. So by the 4th, Saturn and the Sun are absolutely conjunct. So it's going to be important about your choice of associates, the quality of your associates, your future forward plans need to be well thought through. So Saturn's asking you to take those seriously. And of course, Mercury has been in retrograde. It is at the start of this month, but by the 3rd it goes direct. By the 5th it comes out of shadow. By the 14th it moves back into your sector of friendship. So that just gives you a little bit of a taste of what you can expect. Now, if you are new to my channel, I would be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. And also, if you'd like to get your free written daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, you can do so by clicking on the subscription below. I've written these for over 25 years and they're featured all around the world on some very big platforms. Also, year 2022 is with us, of course, but it's not too late for you to buy a year's forecast and you'll get full 12 months from the time of your order. And with my special package, get a character analysis as well. This is based on formal astrology, your time, date and place of birth, and this will give you seeing insights beyond your zodiac forecast for the next year. Please see the link beneath this video. So welcome Aries to your in-depth forecast for February. And I have to say, this is an absolutely action-packed month. So there's a lot to tell you about. And of course, with the new moon occurring on the first day, let's talk about what Aquarius energy represents. It's very much about fraternity. It's how we connect to others. For you, it's about your friendships and group involvements. But it can also be about your need to be independent. But not independent in the way that you're still not in some way keeping that connection to others. But because Saturn is involved in this new moon, but also Uranus in your sector of resources, I have to say that I don't think the following month is necessarily the best of times to pitch in to a relationship with a friend around a business issue. Now, that doesn't mean to say that this would definitely fail. It's just that if you do decide to do it, then you really need to rehearse all the different scenarios. And Mercury, the planet of communication, as it comes out of shadow, it's very closely allied to Pluto, the planet of transformation. So if you think deep, if you do your analysis, if you plan meticulously well, if you think about all those different scenarios, then a future forward plan with a group or a friend could work well. But I just wouldn't go into that kind of situation without thinking things through very carefully. So not a time to make an impulsive decision around your long-term resources or your future. But Jupiter, the planet of growth, now located in your 12th house, is linking in a glorious way with both Venus and Mars in the first part of this month. So it could be that past good deeds that you've done or past hard work can come back to you. Someone may remember when you helped them in some way, perhaps not even in a monetary way, and they may be keen to reward you. And that very charismatic link between Venus and Mars across weeks 2, 3 and 4 really is rich in promise. One of the things I would suggest you could deploy with great effect this month is charm. That doesn't mean to say you need to be insincere. It's just use your natural people skills and most of all your enthusiasm, because your enthusiasm can light up a room when you're on form, and that can be a valuable tool in your professional world as much as your personal one. So I think the big theme for this month for you is that you do have a bridge between both areas. So friendships can be important for your work, or you could make improve contacts through your work or associates, and maybe some of these can even become of a much more personal nature. Now on the 5th, once Mercury comes out of shadow and moves back into Aquarius on the 14th, the to in and fro in around some of your thinking and some of your future plans will get clear by the middle of this month, and I think that's something you're really going to appreciate. Also on the 16th we have the full moon in your sister fire sign of Leo. And that's very much about tuning into your personal needs, but especially around pleasure. So if all this interaction through the Aquarian energy around groups or friends has taken you away a little bit from what you really want to focus on, I think this full moon is asking you over the next couple of weeks to be a bit more cautious about your time management. But it does forge a quincunx with Pluto, and that suggests to me that when it comes to your career, if you're following a well-established path and you're someone who's quite happy to fit into, a big structure, a big organisation, and you're very happy to adhere to their exact expectations, I don't think this is going to be so much of a problem. But if you're more of a free spirit and you want to express yourself, your creativity and your talent, and demonstrate your flair, this can be a bit more of a complex full moon, because it's saying as you go forwards, your future plans, you can't ignore what gives you a real sense of excitement and passion. So don't ignore your passion in the race for success, because with all that energy right at the top of your scope in the sign of Capricorn, your role in life, your status, your earning power, your goals and ambitions are very much to the fore. Now on the 18th, the Sun moves into Pisces, joining up with Jupiter and Neptune. Now the 12th house, which Pisces represents for you, can be a time of reflection. So if you find things are slowing down a little bit for you towards the end of this month, just try to take this in your stride. There can still be some significant connections, because there is going to be a repeat of the Venus-Neptune angle that we had at the start of the year. So the first 12 days of this year could have seen your instincts very highly attuned in a very positive way, and in the last 10 days of this month, because of Venus's retrograde, it's meeting with Neptune again in a very, very helpful way. But Mercury is also clashing with Uranus, so that issue about balancing what you need for your future against your friendships, or making sure you're not being too idealistic about resources or business, that once more comes to the fore. But the Sun moving into Pisces, joining up with Jupiter and Neptune, can bring to the fore more your spiritual inclinations. And if you are born very early in Aries, it's not impossible that you could have some personal planets in Pisces, and therefore your instinctive side is a very strong part of your nature anyway. I actually think the instinctive side of Aries people is really undervalued. You're one of the most naturally gifted people in tuning into situations. You just don't seem to get any credit for that in the astral archetypes. Totally wrong. So that last couple of weeks of this second month of the year may just see your physical vitality a little lower, but if you get the chance to walk in nature, maybe get some alternative treatments such as some foot massage, or sort of aromatherapy, or some chiropractic, or you can go to a spa weekend. All of this obviously depends on the degree of freedom that we're allowed, but those kind of very meditative and healing practices can be enormously uplifting for you as this month draws to a close. So we have three big phases I feel for you this month: the future plans, the friendships, the collective, that comes through the sign of Aquarius and the new moon. We also have the big energy in Capricorn asking you to take your aims and ambitions seriously, and your personal relationships and personal relating style are going to be important to your success, with Venus aligning to your ruler Mars, which loves being in Capricorn in such a positive way in weeks 2, 3 and 4. And of course we have Mercury in a conjunction with Pluto at the start of this month. And remember, though Mercury does square up with Uranus later in this month, that's when it's back in the sign of Aquarius. So I think one plan that's been a bit off and on since the end of last year, by the end of this month, you will have complete clarity about that. But then if you need to take a bit of a breather, step back from situations a bit, just take stock and give yourself the permission to do so. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe and take care, and goodbye for now.